Hey guys, Dr. Pam here, giving you an update for July 2020. Today is the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. And thinking about everybody, of course, and sending love and light. And also, it is a full moon coming up this evening into tomorrow. And then we're also on a lunar eclipse schedule, so I hear. So we have lots of updates. I do have great news to share about the energies that are coming in. They are very good energies. They are energies that are going to help us, Spirit said, to kind of get past a little bit of the gunk that we've been in here for a little bit. And so coming out of the month of June, which was a very difficult month for a lot of folks, I know that there were some challenges, there were some feelings of detriment, right? That's the big thing that I got in most of the readings, and then the things, messages that I've received of how people were feeling. And when I tap into that collective energy, of course, that's how I would feel as well. So, good news is that was then, and this is now. And so the month of July will be lighter. The month of July will be brighter. The month of July will be happier. The month of July will be a little bit more fun. The month of July will be a little bit less and then more strict. And then the month of July will just be, if that makes sense. And if you picked up on that little thing where they said, at first the rest and then whatever it was that they just said, we are going to be out and about, and then we're going to be in and about. So, what do I want to say about COVID? And I was asked, why I haven't been on in a bit, and if it was because there was negative news or something to share, and certainly not. I feel as though COVID again is here for our highest grade. Remember, Co is together and Vid being virtual intelligence of the divine. And so that energy, of course, we can never argue with, and we will always want to accept that of the COVID, they said. However, I do realize that there are a lot of people that are suffering, right, in this day and age, and that we're all going through this trial. I'm wearing a little mask around, or a bandana around my neck, and then I just slide it up, when you go out, on your mouth, over your nose, okay? I know a lot of times people can't breathe. Am I concerned about that? And people have asked me that. And, there are tests done where there's not enough oxygen under the mask, not enough gets to the brain, lack of intelligence, slow human burnout. All of those questions have been asked. And I'll say this, that, be respectful. This is much better than a mask, okay? So get like a little bandana, just slide it up. It's over your nose, it's over your mouth, okay? You could tuck it in if you really needed to. You could use your hand like this over it, okay? It's maybe a little bit less invasive than a mask is, okay? Are these okay? Yes, they are. So they're not called masks, they're called bandanas, but that's just fine. So the pro of it is for women that we get to save money maybe on lipstick, okay? That joke has been made a couple of times. The guys think it's funny. I say, okay, guys, it's kind of funny, but, we're kind of in a pickle here, but not really, okay? So things are moving along nicely the way that they are meant to move along. I feel like, the month of June, again, was a really difficult month. And now coming into the month of July, there's new opportunity, there's new growth. So the beginning of the month, there will be an opportunity for people to extend outside of themselves and to try something new and different than they have tried before. I pulled a few cards for us, and the cards were very positive. And the first card was the Ace of Summer, and that talks about opening our heart to love and the beginning of a new intimate relationship. And so that intimate relationship could be with ourselves, it could be with somebody else, it could be with the divine, it could be a rekindling, it could be somebody from the past coming in, okay? I do know that this is a summer of love, this is a summer of romance, and this is a summer of rekindling and divine connection. And this is also a beautiful month for getting outside and getting fresh air, which happened to be the next card that I pulled. It kept coming to me to get air. Everybody breathe, especially since we've been having to put this on us, right? So go ahead, get outside and get some air, get some fresh air, get some fresh breath. And if you live someplace that's a little bit hot, go someplace where it's a little bit cooler. We could always find ourselves about a half hour, maybe an hour away from where we are. Maybe we could find ourselves a little bit of cool, right? No matter where it is, Spirit said that you are. Go find yourself just a little bit of cool, even if it's in a spring or if it's in a meadow, something like that, or even in a shade with a little bit of a fan on you, okay? So the energy for July, again, I'll say it again because the guides are asking me to say it, is that it's actually very positive. It's very happy. It's different than I think what we all were expecting, right? We've been in the midst of this turmoil. Something broke the other day. I felt it break. I felt tumultuous myself. I felt stuck. Maybe personal reasons, Spirit said, for everybody, it might be just calling everything up right now so that we can work through it and that we can move it out, right? Move it out and find something that settles your soul. This is the time for us to rekindle with our souls and rekindle with soulmates, and to also rekindle with what our soul connected dharma is. Okay, so our soul connected dharma is, what did we come here in our soul to connect with? Maybe it's something new, maybe it's something that you've done before, maybe it's something that you have no idea. Maybe you do have an idea and you're afraid to do it. Maybe you need guidance on that. I have recently found myself guided toward rocks. I've been going out. I found this beautiful one that looked like just, I was happy with this, right? And then when I flipped her over, of course, you find this on the other side. So, these are just beautiful gems, making them into rings and things like that, and pendulums, all sorts of things, because that's what my soul is asking for, right? To calling out for creativity. And also, with all these stones that come from this area, they are all having a special energy, the guide said. And now these rocks and stones and pieces of jewelry and all the different things, making this necklace into a necklace for somebody, for a shamanic healing necklace. So all of these stones, are now going to go throughout the world, and so that healing energy from this area will reach a lot of folks. So now is the time. Okay, we are being given a great opportunity and a push to make our dreams come true. Whatever your dream is, now is your time, people. It is time to make it come true. The card that I pulled next was Expect a Miracle. That's beautiful. Expect a miracle. And what does that mean? Well, what does that mean? It could mean expect a miracle. Somebody may be suffering from COVID. Okay? I thought I said COVID wasn't real. People said, wait, what? I thought it was just a code together with the virtual intelligence of the divine. Well, it's still a pandemic, and it's still a physical, Spirit saying, crisis right now, right? And everybody's working through that. So if somebody's going through something right now of turmoil in their body, even if it may not be this or it may not be that, or it may be this or it may be that, or whatever we call a name to it, the guides are saying, regardless, I have a card that can fix and heal any of those things all together in one, and that is the Expect the Miracle card. Now, do I believe in miracles? Yes, I do. I believed in miracles before I saw a miracle happen. And then I saw a miracle happen. And then I saw another miracle happen. And then I saw another miracle happen. I've seen many miracles happen. I've seen people's lives be changed. I've seen them be healed. I've seen, Spirit said, people that were supposed to leave the earth that stayed. All sorts of beautiful things that can occur. So, and a miracle is a miracle is a miracle. When we ask for the highest grade of all to be done, Spirit said that's all that it takes, right? And so maybe that's all that it takes. So expect a miracle, and whatever that looks like for you, right? It could be a miracle of maybe you are, trying out for a soccer team and you want to really get on that team, right? Okay, so there's a miracle for you. Maybe you are, in the middle of, I can't even think. Spirit said there's so many examples, because miracles are all over the place, and I can see the timeline of them occurring one after another, after another, after another. So simply ask, okay? And this is a divine time for that to be. There are times in history when we are afforded more opportunity to connect with the divine, and this is one of those times, okay? Whenever we are in a crisis of a situation, which when we look around, that's what we hear, right? Are we really in a crisis? Folks, there are two sides to a coin. So yes and no and no and yes. Okay, we are, when you look around, you hear that word and you see what's occurring. And we also know that we are also taken care of. And we've gone through this before. We've gone through many a crisis before. And Spirit's saying we always come out on the other side. Okay, so remember that. That is important. And this month particularly, we have extra guidance pushing us forward and giving us exactly what it is that we need. So it feels to me, and if you were to ask me, which you are, since I'm doing this reading and you are listening to me, that we are in for a beautiful month of blessings. The doozy of a month that people expected, Spirit said, I'm sorry, but the forecast changed. It's actually going to be a beautiful month. It feels as though it might have started a little bit murky for a few people, and it sure did. There were a lot of things that came up. And now it makes sense to me. I think they came up so that they could be cleared and they could be passed through so that somebody, Spirit said, can move on to something even better. And that somebody is whoever it is that's listening. It means that it's time, guys, to change the way that we thought things had to be, to open ourselves to the newness that is. The summer turned something different, right? And energy came in. It's so different right now. I can feel it and I can see it. My pup, Mason, sees energies, and I have a video from him the other day, from when he was playing with a being that was here, that wasn't here, that was here, if you know what I mean. Nothing to be seen, but something to be seen and felt by him. And I felt it too, and I also saw it. So if you want more advancement in your life and you want your third eye, in the third eye right here, for those of you that are unaware, it's your spirit eye, okay? We have our two human eyes, and then we have our third eye, which is our human eye. Okay, it's our pineal gland. It's where our pituitary gland, right? Or not, excuse me, our pineal gland. And so in our pineal gland, our third eye has the ability to open up and to see things, right? And so those of us that have experienced any type of plant medicine journey where our third eye opens and we're able to see beyond, right? And that experience stays with us forever. Well, during this time and during this era, we're all being able to open up our third eyes more and more. It doesn't have to be through a journey. It could be through meditation, great. It could be through card reading, great. It could be through a chakra balance, great. Okay, going out, finding stones, spending time in nature, being with loved ones, all of those things. Anything that connects you, right? Anything that makes you feel connected. It is a time now, as we look around, we can see the growth that's occurring. I feel like maybe things were scary, right? They still are scary. They are. I know they are. Does anybody else feel, though, that they shifted? Because I do. I feel like a boat, Spirit said, was going in a direction of a big tidal wave, and all of a sudden it turned just a little bit. Just a subtle turn, just enough. For those of us that are aware, it was halfway through the year, guys, and now we started to turn in the other direction now for the other half. I do know that it is a political year, and I do know that there is an election. I've had 5 people ask me today what I think, or not today, this week. They say today, which, their terminology, for those of you who don't know, I have been channeling Spirit now since, they've been around me since I was a young girl, but of course, been doing it now more formally. And the guides, as they speak to me, will take over my, tongue in my mouth and my being when I allow them to. And as this moment is, of course, they're sharing this information, and they want to come through as they want to come through. So I'm going to continue on. Sorry, sometimes that does happen. So if you are experiencing, trying to remember exactly what it was that we were speaking about, and that's okay, that does happen. So during this time now of opportunity, right, we were talking about the shifts and the changes for those of us that are aware, thank you, that we're halfway through the year. And so, the other half of the year now, the boat has turned and it has shifted and has changed. We are in a political year, so we have a lot of things coming up. People did ask me about that, and I will talk about that at some point, okay? I do know this, and I will say this about everything, okay? About politics, about love, about, relationships, about loss, about, celebration. Behind it all is Spirit, is God. is oneness, is you, is me. Spirit's reminding that we are all one, right? And so a divine plan is the way that I like to say it, is in place. All of those names and all of those words are all great, right? Because we all have to hear what we need to hear. Spirit, source, God, oneness, universe, okay? Everybody has our back right now. We are being supported. The turn of the tide occurred, and now the boat's going back in a different direction, back home, okay? During this time in our world and in our lives, right, we're seeing things that maybe we've never experienced before, but we really have, right? Our souls have experienced these things, and we're having a reminder, my guides are saying, okay? We're all doing an amazing job. It's important to hear that. I was a hypnotherapist for many years. I still am. I was a therapist for many years, okay? And the subconscious mind runs 80 to 90% of your day. So how many times when we're listening and we hear something, right, we think it didn't impact us or it didn't affect us, but it really did because our subconscious mind heard it. So here's our assignment, right? To think about things now in a much more lovely way than ever before. So when something comes to get you, maybe to grip at you and to get a feeling, even the fact that you have to go out and wear a mask, you know, you're covering smiles, you're not seeing as many smiles. Look at people's eyes, okay? A lot can be told right there in those eyes. Glasses or not, okay? You all can see my soul right now. I know you can. The soul, the eyes are the window to the soul, right? And so never, even if you cover my mouth, oh, you can still feel my emotion. Can you not? I sure hope so. Okay. So, during this time now of things turning, right? For the better, for the great, for the good, what can you do? If I were you, and if I were me, which I am, and I'm also you, right? Because we're all one. Let's stay in the highest vibe that we possibly can. Let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care of our bodies. I'm about to embark on a 5-day detox. Okay, that's really important. I like to take care of my body. If anybody who follows me, you know, in my life knows that in everybody's life, you know, can say, probably most people could say, the ebb and flow, okay? And, you know, you do things, you try things, and then you go off of things and try things. So sometimes they're intentional. Setting an experiment and saying, I'm going to go off all my vitamins for a month and then go back on to see how I feel. I'm going to stop taking all these products and then I'm going to go back on to see how I feel, right? It's good. I'm going to do a full detox and then I'm going to go back on and I'm going to, you know, do this or do that. So it's always a nice time to do this. The summertime, the springtime, a few times a year, actually. I have been a holistic health practitioner now since, oh boy, for a long time, right? Since 2008. So it's hard to believe that it's been that long. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about when it comes to health. So I do feel like it is very important to take care of our health. You can ask me anything about your health, and you can find me for any information if you need to know. I am also a medical intuitive. If you don't feel well, let me know you don't feel well, and I can help you figure out what you can do to feel better. And if you don't feel well right now, there's a lot of things, very simple things you can do. Doesn't mean that you're physically ill, doesn't mean that you're going down the tubes, doesn't mean this. It doesn't necessarily mean anything other than it's a time to take a moment to go in and to feel what it is that we need. Feel what it is they said that you have. Like, feel out your body, feel out your emotions. Figure out what it is, because now is our time, now is our moment to make it happen. A dream that can come true at any moment, right? And it's about time to come true. So have a dream, make it happen. Make another dream, make it happen. Set another dream, set another goal. It's a lot of energy. It's great energy that comes in always, right? Sometimes it's a lot. Spirit's reminding, though, sometimes energies might not always feel like they're positive energies. What if you have strong energies that come through and they feel like there's something other than something that's super positive? Check in with yourself, see where you are, center yourself at your core, call in for some beings to surround you. Say Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel. Those are the three most common ones that are used. Archangel Michael, of course, is Archangel of protecting people. Archangel Protector, that he just said, I will protect anybody upon calling just of my name. He's my buddy. He's always by my side. Okay. So, remember, Spirit's reminding me to let us all know that life is what we make it. Okay? Life is what we make it. I'm going to tell you something that's important. Okay? I'm going to give you an example, Spirit said, of people. So, and this is true. I know somebody who's in his 20s and, he can barely get himself to job, to do a work, to go do anything, right? I know another woman who's in her 90s who's running around the track still, right? And so, what does that mean, right? And so every life is different, right? And if the 20-year-old who's really truly in his heart knows that he's doing his best and maybe he came here for very hard things and trials and tribulations, sure. Okay? Maybe the 9-year-old has a different path. We all do. But I can tell you something though. Okay? I am a fellow human being, right? Part human, part other. Okay? So I can make excuses too. I know the game, right? And so I'm going to ask you though, because my guides are asking me to ask you, to make sure that you're not making an excuse. Make sure that during this time, okay, I know that we're being challenged, right? We're being broken down. We're being made to be maybe something other than what we thought, which simply means that our life has changed a little bit, right? But it doesn't, Spirit said, mean anything other than, of course, that we're on a divine plan. And so if your life has changed a lot, which I think everybody, whose life hasn't changed, right? There's a lot of things that have come out of COVID. Remember, together, virtual intelligence of the divine, right? Working with that, remembering that. Everybody's lives have changed. But I want to challenge you to be positive. I want to challenge you, myself too, to really ask yourself if you're making an excuse, right? Or if this is really something that Spirit said that you really have to sit in. I feel like I'm being pushed, and that's the energy that everybody's getting right now, is that push. Take the push. Go with it. Do I think that things are going to get different again? Meaning, are things going to close up the way we first said in the beginning of all this, in the phases of this COVID process? Possibly. October, November, December, maybe running out the year, they said, so that everybody can sleep easy, have peace and quiet. Santa can come right on time, okay? All of those things can happen. 2020 has been a different start, okay? We're only halfway through, and the boat has turned. So Spirit wants me to ask you, what are you going to do now? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to challenge all of you to do something. I want you to spend 8 weeks. 8 weeks. You want to do 8 weeks with me? Possibly. Spirit said you could sit with me. We could do a program. But it's an 8-week for yourself, really, to go inward. And we could offer you something right now. We could offer you an 8-week opportunity. You tell me when you want to start, and I'll help you be your follow-through. And I have an 8-week program in my own mind that my guides have been downloading me with, simply of what you could do in an 8-week period, right? And so what the mind and what the brain is capable of, we never really knew possible until today. And also right now in this time frame, I'm being guided and allowed to share that we are being given assistance right now because of what's happening, right? And so that our brains are being altered and being shifted so that we can change into the higher vibration of love and those other high vibration frequencies that are necessary, okay? So let's sit with that though, they said, and feel that energy, because it's big energy. I feel it as soon as it comes through. It goes, for me, it goes right through my nose is where I feel, and also through the rest of my body. So feel that in yourself. Maybe you can feel it. So in this rest of this period of time, in this month of July, I'm going to challenge you, okay, to go inward. And the 8-week course is going to be something that you can shout out and say, hey, let's do an 8-week course, everybody together. Maybe people would like to do that. We'll figure out exactly when to start it. We're going to look at a calendar, and we're going to see. I feel like for the next 8 weeks, energy will change and be such where you'll love it, and then it'll get a little bit more difficult again. So during this 8-week period, find something that really is near and dear to your heart. If you need help, let me know. lifehealer777@gmail.com, and I will help you. I am a personal coach. I'm a personal spiritual assistant. I'm all of the above. So our journey is none other than a pleasant one one that will take us into different locations now in this next period of time if we allow it to. I'm going to give you regular updates, and Mystic Mondays will be coming to you starting on Monday, where we will have a new deck of cards that I have been guided to, that I am now in the middle of learning and really understanding and growing with, and they have become my new best friend. And they're going to be coming to you so that we can together work together and figure out what we can do to help us all continue our path to transcension. And transcension, they said, is the word of the week. Transcension, which simply means to transcend. Ascension, transcension. Okay, it's very hot, it's very heavy, and it's very now. So our transcension is very hot and heavy, and it is very now. I want to tell you guys again, okay? We are amazing. Hear that. You are amazing. You are amazing. You are loved. You have done so much work. So proud of you. So proud of you. The guides are proud of you. I am proud of you. We have all done so much in this little bit of time. We were altered and we were shifted, okay? And now let's take a little bit of a break. Only a little bit though, and to get ourselves back on track of an 8-week abundance, moving us closer and closer. Spirit said will give us another update here coming soon. But then also too, if you need anything, reach out. We got it all just right here, they said, for you. Meaning that any answer, there really is no question that doesn't have an answer. Every question has an answer, and you don't have to ask us. You can simply ask yourself, and you'll feel your answer. It's a divine time now for everybody to get in tuned when they're intuit. So intuit, okay, and find out who you are. Don't be afraid of yourself, Spirit said, because you are more beautiful than ever before. Even those of you that might be hearing the message for the first time, maybe you're wondering, okay, well, I don't even know. Like, I've never even thought about any of these things that I'm hearing. You have to hear everything for one time in order to be able to hear it for a second time, in order for you to be able to hear it for a third time. Kind of like a walk in the woods, right? Your guides are saying it's one step, it's another step, and then it's another step. So if it's your first time hearing some of these things about energy and about how we're here and how we are being guided and how we're being attuned, how we're ascending, how the energy for July and during this most primal period on Earth, when we're all being asked to shift into change, right? And this is a very remarkable moment in history, is what I keep hearing, a remarkable moment. And it is. When they get a chance to talk and speak, they said talk and speak. I simply just channel, what I hear. I try to do it so that you can understand. Sometimes language is not always as easy. Sometimes they're just pictures that go in front of me. And if you're looking to open your third eye more, this is also a time to do that during this month. It's all about that right now. It's about opening our heart to love. There are some new oils on Young Living that you can check out. One's called One Love, that opens the heart, and the other one is called Gary's Light, that goes in the third eye. Of course, that opens the third eye, and you can find all that information through me. I find that the oils, I find that the stones, I find that, all of the things that we can do, that we've been given, right? It's kind of like Spirit saying, it's a no-brainer. You come here, we give you all the tools that you could possibly ever need or imagine. It's like when you ask for help and there's a knock on the door and you say, I'm not going to answer it. And, another knock comes on the door, you ask for help again. Hey, I'm not going to answer it, Spirit said, I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. There is not one person right now on this earth that hasn't been given exactly what they need. Okay, not one person. I believe that. I just heard that. I know it to be true. All right, we can do it. We're doing it. We're amazing. We're awesome. I love all you guys. I appreciate you. If you need anything, I'm here. All right, and I look forward to serving you. Find me again at lifehealer777@gmail.com to email me, or lifehealer.org, or drpammcmahon.com. And I also want to write or shout out a book that was written by one of my besties, Dr. Annalise Singh, in Atlanta, Georgia, through Harbinger Books, Amazon.com, and it is the Racial Healing Handbook, and it is dynamite. And right now, during this period of time where we are in the movement of Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, right? But Black Lives Matter right now is the focus. We all need to learn. I never realized I had any prejudice, right? I just, thought I saw people, right? Never realizing by not seeing the color of people, right? I was missing one of the biggest pieces, right? I wasn't really seeing the whole person. So maybe we're innocently prejudiced and we don't even realize it. So thank you, Dr. Singh. Find it, please, Amazon.com, Dr. Annalie Singh. All right. I will see you all soon. Mystic Monday. Have a beautiful weekend. Happy 4th of July. Happy full moon. Happy full moon. And also happy lunar eclipse.